Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
We learned about the features of cells in our previous class. We learned about the largest, smallest, and longest cell. Hope you are remembering the points what we discussed. What is a cell actually? Anlia, what do you mean by a cell? Anlia.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
cell is the basic and structural, structural and basic
Basic, structural, and
functional unit of life.
functional unit of all living organisms. And which is the longest cell in our body? Abhishek, which is the longest cell in our body? Longest cell.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't know? Mishal, which is the longest cell in our body?
Nerve cell.
Nerve cell. Abhishek, a little late. You tell me which is the largest cell then. Abhishek.
Cell ostrich egg.
Ostrich egg is the largest cell and the smallest? Abhinav, can you tell me which is the smallest cell? Abhinav, which is the smallest cell?
Ma'am, you should type.
Okay. Problem with the mic? Okay.
Ma'am,
Mithun?
he has to come near the camera.
Ma'am, bacterial
Okay,
cell.
no problem.
Ma'am, bacterial cell.
Bacterial cell, correct. So bacterial cell is the smallest cell, nerve cell is the longest one, and the egg of an ostrich is the largest cell. So don't get confused between largest and longest. Longest cell is nerve cell, largest one is ostrich egg. So let us learn more about cells today. We'll learn more about its shape and size. Some are joining even now.
And this we have discussed.
Shape of cells. Different cells of different
Ma'am, this
shapes.
one we have
And
discussed,
this
ma'am.
one we have been
Okay, no problem. Quickly we'll go through that. And blood, muscle, nerve cells, all these are having different shapes, and these different shapes will enable them to carry out their specific function. And the function of the nerve cell, did we learn the function of a nerve cell?
Yes, ma'am.
The nerve cell receives and transfers messages, thereby helping to control and coordinate the different parts of our body. And next point, what we need to know is that the size of the cell has got no connection with the size of the animal or plant. I'll repeat once again. The size of the cell is not related to the size of the body of the animal or plant. I'll give you an example. Take the case of a rat and an elephant. You know, elephant is very big animal when compared to a rat. So you might think that the cells in an elephant's body are bigger in size, whereas in a rat, these are smaller in size. But actually, the cells will be more or less of the same size. In an elephant as well as in a rat, the cell size will not have much differences. They'll be more or less the same. Then what makes the difference? What makes the elephant huge and the rat very small?
ma'am.
Ah, yes.
Ma'am, function.
No. You can say, you just think
Size.
you will say.
Number of
Size.
cells.
Yes, exactly. The number of cells. The number of cells makes the difference. Suppose if a very lean person is standing next to me, okay, very lean and thin person. So I can say that the number of cells in my body is more than the other person, the lean person who is standing next to me. The number of cells can make us big or small. The size can be the size of the entire organism. The entire size of your body can be big or small depending upon the number of cells, not the size of cells. So depending upon the size of the organism, whether it is an ant or an elephant, the number of cells can be different, but the size of the cells will remain more or less the same. The cells in an elephant are not bigger than those in a rat. The size of the cell is related to the function. The size will be related to the function it has to perform. Whether it's an elephant or a rat, in both of them, nerve cells are there. And these nerve cells perform the function of transferring or transmitting messages. Whether it is an elephant or a rat, their function of nerve cells will remain the same. That is to receive and transfer messages. To facilitate this function, nerve cells should be long and branched in elephant, and even a rat or even an ant or whichever organism which is having nervous system, they'll have the same type of nerve cells. But the number of cells can be different. They perform the same function of transferring messages. Now, levels of organization. This already I have told you. We have learned what is a cell. Cell is the structural and
Can you show the
functional.
last slide?
Cell is a structural and functional unit of all Cell is a structural and functional unit of all living organisms. But when a group of cells join together, what do they form, children? A group of cells having similar function. Tissue.
Tissue.
A group of tissues will form
Organ.
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 Very good. A group of organs,
Organ
organ
system.
system.
Organ system.
Several such organ systems will make an
Organism.
organism. Shivanya, have you copied?
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, we have heard that after 20 or 22 years we will grow.
We
So
cannot
why
grow
is
in
that?
height or weight. Definitely we can grow. We cannot become tall after 19 to 20 years of age. But definitely,
Ma'am, so
but
this means that the number of cell is stopped.
no, but after that, listen. So these cells do not divide and we cannot increase. Your bone cells will not continue to grow and increase in number and make you taller after a particular age. But definitely our number of cells can increase. You can put on weight. See, my age, maybe after another 10 years or 5 years, when you see, maybe I'll be fatter than now what I am. So maybe I can become fatter later. But that is because I can put on weight. By the deposition of fat on my body, I can put on weight. And not only that, cell division will be taking place in my body for repairing the damaged cells. For repairing the damaged cells and all, cell division can take place. And by the deposition of fat in my body, I can put on weight. But after a particular period of time, that is 18, 19 years of age, you won't grow in height because your bone cells will not undergo division to make you taller after a particular age. So after that, your growth will stop. In terms of height, I'm saying. But definitely you can put on weight depending upon the food you eat, with the deposition of fat and all. You can put on weight, and definitely cell division will continue, not for growth but for repairing the damaged tissues. Regularly your body needs repair. Some cells will undergo wear and tear, it will get damaged. It has to be, these cells need to be replaced. For all that, cell division will be taking place. Okay, Mishal? Yes, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this point also we finished discussing. A group of cells performing a specific function. So if you're asked to define a tissue, you can say a group of cells performing a specific function is known as a tissue. A group of similar cells performing a specific function. And cell is the basic structural and functional unit of a living organism. A group of cells having same function, a specific function is a tissue. A group of tissues having a common function will form an organ. A group of organs performing common function organ system. And several such organ systems constitute an organism. Now next what we are going to learn is about the components of a cell, the basic components of a cell.
Ma'am, can you show the last slide?
In every cell, you have to be a little more fast, children. In every cell, there are three main parts. Three main components are present in every cell. Okay? Every cell, when you consider, you can find three main parts or components. So one by one, we will learn about these three components, the functions performed, more about their structure or unique features you're going to learn. So starting with the components,
Ma'am,
the first one, cell membrane. We even call cell membrane as plasma membrane. We can even call it as plasma membrane, cell membrane or plasma membrane. Then the next one, cytoplasm. And then we have nucleus, plasma membrane or cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus are the major components, major parts of a cell. The major parts of a cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Nucleus, cytoplasm and cell membrane or plasma membrane are the three main components of a cell. We will start with the first one, that is cell membrane. We even call it as a plasma membrane. So whenever we are explaining the parts of a cell, we'll try to compare it with some component or some part there in our school. Okay, we'll try to relate like that. So let us start with cell membrane. Cell membrane or plasma membrane, it will enclose the cytoplasm and nucleus. So already we learned there are three components, cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. So the remaining two, cytoplasm and nucleus, are bound by or enclosed by cell membrane or plasma membrane. It is within the plasma membrane that we can see the other two components, that are cytoplasm and nucleus. The cell membrane separates. Now we are seeing the functions. What are the functions performed by cell membrane? They will separate the cells from one another and also from the surrounding medium. So just like we have four walls for a classroom. Just take the case of classroom. And you know that, suppose you take your class, 8A, there is 8A, 8B, 8C. So different students will be sitting in each of the classrooms. And how do you know this room is 8A, the next room is 8B, and the other room is 8C? Because of the walls, isn't it? The walls, just imagine there are no walls in between these three classrooms. Will there be any separation between 8A, 8B, and 8C?
No.
All will look the same. So those walls are separating 8A from 8B and 8A and B from 8C. It's because of these walls. Similarly, the cells, each cell is separated from the other with the help of this boundary known as plasma membrane. The cell membrane separates cells from one another. The different cells are separated with the help of plasma membrane. And it will also separate the cells from the surrounding medium. Maybe something else is also there in the medium where these cells are present. Something else is also there. So to separate from the external things and also to distinguish each cell, cell membrane is useful. So cell membrane will separate cells from one another and also from the surrounding medium. Okay. Now, moving on to the next point. It is selectively permeable. Selectively permeable. It selects, or you can say it is selectively permeable, means it won't allow everything to pass through it. It is selectively permeable. It will select what should go in and out through the membrane. Everything and anything that comes near the plasma membrane cannot enter or leave the cell. Plasma membrane will choose who should go in and who should not, and who should come in and who should not come out, or who has to come out. So all that will be decided by the plasma membrane. So we call it as selectively permeable. If it allows everything to pass through it, you can say it is freely permeable. But it is not freely permeable. It is semi-permeable or selectively permeable. You can even call it as semi-permeable or selectively permeable. The meaning is that it will not allow everything to move across. Only selected materials can go through it. Everything leaving and entering, the cell should get the permission from whom? Plasma membrane. If it feels that this molecule should not go in, it will not allow it to go in. Okay? So here you can compare with the gatekeeper. Okay? In our school, we have a gatekeeper, the person who always stands close to our gate, and he will keep the gate closed. Will he allow everybody who comes near the gate to go in and out? Suppose you
Yeah.
just imagine you are having regular class. We don't have a corona situation. We are having regular class. And you want to go out to Mala and buy some sweets. And you are slowly bugging the class and coming near the gate. And will the gatekeeper open the door or gate for you?
No, ma'am.
Huh? No, he will report it to the
Chair.
concerned people. You will not be permitted to go in. But on the other side, just see that parents are coming with a prior appointment and showing the slip. Will he permit them in?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Similarly, chairman sir has to go out of the school and his car comes near the gate. Will he ask anything, or he will open the door, or he will open the gate?
He will
He will
open the
definitely,
door.
he knows whom should be permitted and whom should not be
Permit.
permitted. He monitors. And similarly, some street vendors are coming to sell few things with big loads of so and so things. They are coming in near the gate. Will he permit them to enter?
No,
No.
ma'am.
He will ask them to call to the school office, get prior permission, and then come near or come to enter the school. Otherwise, he will not permit. Am I right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
he is like our plasma membrane. He will selectively permit people to go in and out. So our cell membrane is performing the function similar to that of a gatekeeper. That's what I said. So throughout this lesson, we will try to compare each component of a cell with some counterpart there in our school, so that you can, it's not for examination purpose. You don't have to write down that cell membrane is similar to our school gatekeeper. Don't write like that. But this will help you to recollect, or it will help you to strengthen your memory power. That's why I'm giving such tips. Okay? So our plasma membrane, or the plasma membrane of the cell, is selectively permeable. It will allow only selected substances to pass through it. Is that clear about the cell membrane? I'll repeat the
Yes, ma'am.
points once again. It will enclose the cytoplasm and nucleus. It will separate cells from one another and also from the surrounding medium. Then one point we missed out, we'll come to that. It is selectively permeable and allows only selected substances to pass through it. This membrane is porous. Porous means provided with small openings. What for? For the movement of materials inward and outward. Materials can pass in through small openings present in the plasma membrane. But permission should be given by plasma membrane. Definitely there is a, so just like we said in the case of the gatekeeper, once the gate opens, there is a way out and in. People can go in and out. We have a way to go in and out, but gatekeeper should decide whether permission should be granted or not. Similarly, plasma membrane is porous. It's having small openings for the exchange of materials. But plasma membrane should take a decision whether this molecule or these ions should go in or out. That it has to decide. If it's not permitting, if it is not giving permission, those molecules will not be able to enter or leave the cell. Okay? Anything to be repeated?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So quickly we can summarize before we proceed to the next topic. So what all things we learned today? Before the three components of the cell, we mentioned that
Ma'am, the
the
size of cell has no
size of an
relation.
organism is not connected with the
Size of the cell.
size of an organism, and size of the cell has got no connection because the cells can be of the same size in a smaller animal as well as in a big animal or a bigger animal. Okay. Which are the three components of a cell? Jeevan, name the three components of a cell.
Ma'am, cell membrane,
Hmm.
nucleus,
Hmm. C. Starting with the C. Inside the cell, something is there, no? Other than the nucleus. Who can help him? Devika, which point, which component he missed out?
Cytoplasm.
Cytoplasm. So, Jeevan, tell all the three.
ma'am, cell membrane,
Hmm.
nucleus,
Hmm.
cytoplasm,
Jeevan, what is the other name for cell membrane?
plasma membrane.
Okay, plasma membrane. Now, we learned a few points about cell membrane. So, one by one, I want to hear it from you. Alena, can you tell one point about plasma membrane? Alena Jinson.
Enclosed
It will enclose
cytoplasm and the nucleus.
a nucleus. Cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed by plasma membrane. Evelyn, next point. Which is the next point? Need not be in order. In any order you can say, but I need the points. Evelyn, you know the answer? Krishnaveni?
Ma'am, the cell membrane separates cells from one another and from the surrounding medium.
And also from the surrounding medium. Good. Evelyn is ready with the answer? Evelyn, at least you message, child. Then, who is going to tell the next point?
Ma'am.
Yes. Prarthana.
Ma'am, cell membrane is selectively or semi-permeable. It won't allow every cells to pass through.
Every cell? It won't allow? It will not allow all substances to pass through it. Okay?
Okay.
Not cell. It will not allow all the materials to move across. Only selected materials can move across. Good. Then, what else we learned?
Ma'am, it is
Yes.
porous.
Shivanya.
Ma'am, the cell membrane is porous and allows movement of substances inward and outward.
Yes, very good. So it will allow the movement of materials inward and outward, but at the same time, it's selectively permeable. It will select only certain materials, or it will only permit some materials to move in and out. I think we covered all the points, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will continue. We have 10 more minutes. So quickly we will see how much we can cover. Next, we are going to learn about cell wall. Now, you might be thinking, when we mentioned about three components of a cell, I did not say about cell wall. We learned three components: cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm. But cell wall was missed out. What is the reason? You know anything about cell wall? Don't get confused between cell wall and cell membrane. Both are two different membranes. Cell membrane is same as plasma membrane, but cell wall is entirely different membrane, and you can find cell wall only in plant cells. Only in plant cells you can find cell wall. That is why we did not mention when we, in general, when we said about all the components of a cell. Because plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus, generally it is found in all cells. Whereas when it comes to cell wall is found only in plant cells, not in animal cells. Okay, that's why we didn't mention it as the main components. It's also a main component but found only in plant cells. There are chances that you get confused between cell wall, cell membrane. Don't get confused. Cell membrane found in all cells. Cell wall found only in plant cells. Cell wall is present only in plant cells. Why only plant cells? Why? Because this layer will give additional protection. In plant cells also cell membrane is there. Animal cells as well as plant cells, cell membrane is found. But in addition to cell membrane, one more layer outside cell membrane, that is known as cell wall. In plant cells, outside cell membrane, one more layer is there. But in animal cells, cell membrane is the outermost boundary, no more covering. Cell membrane is the outermost boundary in animal cells. But in plant cells, in addition to plasma membrane or cell membrane, one more layer, it gives additional protection. It's an additional wall providing protection, extra protection to the plant cells. Now, you might be thinking, why only plants need additional protection? Why not animal cells? Any guesses, children? Why plants are having this extra element? Any guesses? Just compare plants and animals. Why do they need something extra? Let me be wrong. You are free to make mistakes. Huh?
To protect them from dangerous.
No, we also need protection. There should not be any partiality. Huh?
Want to grow for
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, if plants are giving food, only animals and humans can eat.
Good thought. Anyway, what she said is plants need to be protected because they are giving food for the entire living organisms on the earth. That is a good thought, but some other reason is there.
Ma'am, the
See,
parts of the plants are very delicate.
So they need additional protection. Now, just that was Shivanya, no?
Yes,
Just compare plants and animals. What are the major differences between plant and animal cells?
plants. Can you
Not animal cells, plants and animals. What are the major differences?
Ma'am, animals can
Ma'am,
move.
plants
Plants cannot move.
That's the point. Animals can move, plants cannot move. Suppose, children, if you're outside your house and it is raining heavily, what you will do? You will get wet there. I know children of your age, you love to become wet. I'm not saying about that. Just imagine an adult person. But what we'll do, immediately we will, if you don't have an umbrella, if the person is not having an umbrella with him or her, immediately he will move to a shade or he will move to some place or run to houses nearby. He will immediately enter the house or take shelter. Or if it is, or if some animal is coming to attack us, we'll also immediately, with the ability to move, we can escape from the place. Or if it is sun is shining too brightly, scorching heat, and you can't bear it, immediately you use a umbrella. Imagine if umbrella is not there, you will quickly move away from the place. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. But what about plants? If it is raining, can the plants pull out their roots and run from there?
No, ma'am.
No. So they have no other option. They will be fixed at one place. They will be fixed at one place. They have no other way. They can't run. They can't move from there. Whether it is rain or wind or whatever it is, they have to withstand it. So to give them additional protection, since they cannot escape from one place to another, and they have to bear all these harsh weather conditions, they are given an extra layer. It provides protection against the fluctuations, variations in temperature, high wind speed, moisture, etc., because plants cannot move to escape the adverse climatic conditions. So that is the reason why they are having an extra layer, an additional layer. It's a very thick wall, and it is made of a substance known as cellulose. And the function of the cell wall is to give shape and rigidity to the plant cell. It will give shape and rigidity, stiffness, and gives shape. Once again, quickly I will say, cell wall is found only in plant cells. It is an additional layer, and it is meant for providing protection, because plants cannot escape harsh conditions because they can't move. So to give them additional protection, cell wall is present. And with what is cell wall made of? Cellulose. And
Cellulose.
what is the other function other than giving protection? Gives shape and rigidity. You want to see that slide again? You copy
Yes,
the
ma'am.
points?
Yes,
No, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, quickly take down.
Last paragraph.
I
No,
can
ma'am.
stop sharing. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me one function of cell wall. Nishal, just one function.
Ma'am, it protect against the variation in temperature.
Variation in temperature,
Ma'am, and
in
from a
general, you can say
climatic condition.
protects it from hard environmental conditions. With what is it made of? Prarthana, with what is it made of
Ma'am,
this layer?
cellulose.
Cellulose. Okay, we'll continue next class. Thank you, children.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.